So.
Oh yeah, Brian. Charlotte, you got my Pokemon list really wrong.
No, I'm not surprised. well, considering how many people said Miltank, it's like, okay, Miltank is a definite one. So now it's, what's the rest going to be?
Technically on the list, but now I feel like it does have to be, so...
Is this favourite Pokemon list?
Yeah, it was what 6 Pokemon do you think I'd have?
Miltank.
Somebody's already said that.
And then just call the team, got milk.
Someone's already said that. And people keep on saying a Pokemon, and it's only half right because it's only the pre-evolution form of it. And people keep on getting that half right. But I don't think the others you'd be able to get, like, anyone will be able to guess.
This is the problem, like, back in Gen 1, it would be easy, there's 150 choices.
Yeah.
If it was my Gen 1 team, that would probably be easier to...
Yeah. I think mine would be very easy. Like, just it makes it easier because all of my favourites are poison type.
I was about to say, so yours would be Coughing, Grimer...
No. You're wrong already.
Oh, fine, we're going for evolutions then, so what, Weezing, Muck, Venomoth...
Oh no, Coughing stays. Because nothing's better than Coughing.
And then anything else that Koga's gym uses.
You wouldn't be wrong.
But all I had to say to Koga's gym on Let's Go was basically, "Hi Koga, this is Charizard at max speed. Charizard,
Yep.
Fire Spin." And Fire Spin again.
I think the one on my favourites list that actually tricks people though is when I say, yeah, so Trubbish and Garbodor's on my favourite list.
I love Trubbish. It wouldn't
love
be.
Trubbish.
I started off on my Ultra Sun and Moon, so I had a Trubbish. I got somebody to share it to me.
Trubbish is the best.
Tried to make a Trubbish handbag as well to wear my Rosa from Black and White 2.
Nice.
Like, that can be a handbag. So what the fuck? Yeah, I've narrowed it down in the comments because people kept on getting...
Yeah, you said Gen 2,
Right.
Gen 5, didn't you?
Yeah, Gen 2, Gen 5, you know, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
400.
There is only one Pokemon I like in Gen 4.
Which
Can anyone guess which it is?
I don't even know. I only know Gen 1 Pokemon, that's it.
4, Gen 4, Gen 4, and I think...
This is why I've got to really start my Typhloak again.
Which foxy ones are there in Gen 4? I'm trying to pick.
I had the same thought as well. It's like, okay, let's go Fox Types. Well, there's Vulpix, Ninetales. Was there ever more?
One.
So there's Vulpix, Ninetales, and then Ninetales. But you can't forget Vulpix. But then there's also Vulpix. What about
Although didn't
Ninetales?
Eevee get some extra evolutions in Gen 4?
Yeah, but they're grass and ice.
Yep.
Unless it is Glaceon. Unless it is Glaceon, because that's basically an Arctic fox.
Ah.
Yes. But my favorite from 4th generation is actually from Sinnoh region, Lucario.
Ah, yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's a lot of people's favourites.
Mm.
It is
Yeah.
kind of like an Anubis fox, kind of.
Yeah.
That does martial arts.
Yeah.
And was basically Mewtwo's replacement in Smash Brothers. Which is also on my Christmas
Or
list, so which
Mewtwo
is why I want to
back.
buy Breath of the Wild, so I don't have to buy Breath of the Wild and go, I don't have money for Smash.
It's like, but I'm so busy on Breath of the Wild. How could I possibly smash?
No, you see, because I can just plough through the main campaign of Breath of the Wild, do all the side stuff in my free time, and just enjoy the scenery.
Yes.
Like you're meant to do with an open world game. It's what I do at every playthrough of Skyrim. I destroy the main quest in whatever build I'm going for, then do the side stuff. Because then I have the Die Dragon Shout, which makes dragons a absolute walk in the park.
Oh yeah, when it's like, first level, get your ass down here. Second level, get your ass down here, and you can't do shit. Third level, you're basically dead.
Which is great when I'm low on magicka, low on stamina, low on health, because I'm playing it with the survival mods on. And I just don't have time for this.
I have actually considered starting with the survival mod.
It's really good. It actually adds so much more to the game.
Yeah.
The only problem I have is it's on the greatest club. So enjoy spending real currency on fake currency for a mod which is probably free somewhere on ModDB, and you can just play it on the regular Skyrim.
Yes.
In the meantime, what about Obsidian's new Outer Worlds RPG?
I will be honest and say I haven't seen hair nor tail of that.
It looks freaking cool!
Also, I'm waiting for Cyberpunk.
Yep! Especially since your wrestler name is Liam Cyber O'Reilly. I think it goes hand in hand.
Yes, definitely.
Can all the sounds of cans, ladies and gents, trying to tidy space.
You know, I wouldn't even be surprised if you, like, could have enough cans to make, like, a fort out of cans.
That would be so cool.
Me and a friend did have that joke once. We were going to gather up all the cans of drink I have, like steam clean them and everything, and then weld them all together and see if I could actually have a throne.
Wow. And
Sweet.
did you?
No, because by the time I sat there and looked at the pile of cans, I was like, let's put this all in the recycling bin.
Fair enough.
This is getting big as it is.
Also, if you are interested in... so, do you know what a little metal called gallium does for aluminum?
Aluminium. Sorry, but
There we go.
This is an argument that's not going to die. I'm just going to sit back and let this one happen.
Yeah.
like, how do you get aluminum? It's got a it's like ALUM for mother, IN for November, IUM. Like, why do people miss out the I to say aluminum? Like, that's so stupid.
Yeah.
Because then you can't make a great comedy version of one of the most famous Muppet songs by going aluminum. Du, 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 du.
But no, gallium does some weird stuff to metals anyway. I think it has the same effect of mercury. It doesn't really bond, it amalgamates, so it really warps it.
Actually, gallium sort of, if you take a aluminum can and leave it in liquid gallium for a day or so, it actually eats. It makes the aluminum really brittle.
Yeah, it amalgams. So there's a video somewhere of someone doing it with mercury.
Oh, sweet.
And it
So,
comes up like
also
fungus, but it's
Rackham.
it's like pure aluminium strings.
yeah, and King of Random actually made a video about that not too long ago.
Yeah, has some weird stuff. It also has a melting point so low it actually melts in the palm of your hand.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And
that's how
also
funky gallium
some
is.
And
Nice.
also some magicians actually use gallium spoons to do the bending trick.
Ah, okay. That is.
Yeah, everything can be explained with science.
Yes. And sorry for everyone who have
Everyone who
Also
believed in
believe
magic.
Telekinetic powers over time.
Oh well. As a bit of housekeeping, by the way, guys, I did some awesome things this morning.
oh,
So those that are logged into Roll20 now, if you start rolling stuff on the table,
hmm
Ooh.
now they will appear on stream because I activated 3D dice.
Yay!
And just as a demonstration for Dom, who wasn't here last week, like the kind of damage that Hojo could do.
Oh, jeez.
Did actually see what came up. Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I
Holy
see
ball
only
sacks
5
on the
guys.
side of the road.
Although I will say, apologies to those on stream, my 3D dice are bugged.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They are
there
just
is-
black.
Yeah, they are just black.
But
Well-
I couldn't do dice.
They're my DM cheating dice.
Yeah.
The cheeky dice.
Right, I'm logging in to read the mail, the Holy Grail.
Wonderful. I'm just trying to find out how I could fix the dice problem. Because it would be nice to have actual dice on the table.
Yes, it would.
Yes.
Ooh. Yeah, so I just received a message from like another DM I playing like another game with, and we might be getting an elf rogue in our Pathfinder game.
Oh, right. I know what the problem is now.
What seems to be the problem?
Turns out, in Roll20, you know you can select the colour next to your name.
Yes.
Well, I have mine set to black.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
That determines the colour of your dice.
Yeah.
Ah.
And that's actually why I changed my color to more bright purple.
There
I
you
should
go.
activate my dice actually.
That does explain a lot.
Well, I do have many dice at my disposal.
So
This is the problem.
dice.
Well, as Christy knows, because she was in the
I do.
apartment with me at Comic-Con, she saw how many dice I brought with me.
I did it.
I had a lot of dice.
Cool. So I was just testing the dice. Nice.
There we go. I got cocked dice. I demand a reroll.
So this bad dice.
I've activated 3D dice on the stream.
Fully in the dice.
So whenever you roll dice now, it actually rolls it on the table and makes a noise.
Sweet.
Ah, them sexy dice noises.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
definitely.
I just thought it would look rather nice, that's all.
Yes, indeed. Also, I know exactly what I'm doing after stream today.
Do you know?
Yes. I'm ordering myself a Blue Yeti.
Hey. He joins the Yeti Club.
Yes, and it takes. It also has radius 3 boom arm and shock mount.
Oh, ooh. Oh, that's very
Ooh.
good. Oh yeah, that's true. Its own shock mount.
It takes 4 to 7 days to ship. Which,
No, honestly, that is one thing I need to invest in. Either a better boom arm or the actual shock mount.
yeah.
Yeah, again, like, in reference, I've had this boom mount for years. And it cost me, what, not even a fiver off Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't actually had a boom arm. I have been doing, or a proper microphone. I've been doing my streams with the headset microphones, and very, very bad table microphone.
First feels.
Yeah,
That's where it all begins, dude.
yeah, indeed.
Okay, I feel all good now.
You found the game?
No, I'm just all good to stream.
Ooh.
I don't really have a plan for this week, but then again, I never do.
We're doing it live! We're gonna wing it!
We're gonna wing it,
Sometimes.
says someone who really should not be winging it.
Yeah.
In reference, I winged it once, and we ended up going to. It was me and a bunch of my mates playing D&D, and we ended up going to a place known as Orcs R Us.
Oh, cool.
Because one of my mates worked at Toys R Us at the time, so I thought it was the only first idea that came into my head. So it was in an abandoned castle that was being refurbished, and it was ran by kobolds, managed by hobgoblins, and the shelves had everything from armor, swords, potions, scrolls, you name it. And my
That's
party
amazing.
ended up convincing management that they were there on a health and safety inspection, which was just it was probably one of the most hilarious things we've ever done on D&D.
I have had one where players have just blown through the dungeon. Like, it was an improv one shot anyway. It was only supposed to be a one night thing. And I planned like half the dungeon, getting into their mindset, they'll go down this path into this thing quite happily. Oh no, they had to go the other way just to be gits. And eventually I had to just put it in a room where they entered it in. It was like bleach white floor, ceiling and walls. And there were actual goblins and gnomes putting up wallpaper. And
Nice.
they now carpet like they were still decorating in white overalls going, we're trying to do a jump here. Could you give us a minute?
Oh boy.
And eventually when they did fight the big bad, like, instead of on a throne, he was literally all sitting on the cardboard box the throne comes in. Some assembly required. The animal crates in the corner and everything else.
Brilliant.
What is this? I've been linked.
What is this?
Yes. I don't need a tutorial.
This is how you fight with swords.
Yes.
Do you know what? That's the one thing that does bother me. It even comes up in For Honor as well, and that game's supposed to be like pretty realistic in how you use the weapon. If you play as the warden, one of your execution moves is to stop, grab the tip of the sword, and swing the guard down on someone's head.
Yeah.
Or like impale them with the edge of the guard. It looks cool and all, but that's a sharp blade and you're literally holding it. Inertia is going to cut you open. You're going to lose fingers.
Mm.
Yeah.
There
Just
is
imagine in real life when you're halfway through that animation and someone's like, "Hey Paul, what are you doing?" Ah!
Yeah, and also there is the funny fact that I am actually I have been asked to join to historic sword fighting
Oh,
club.
like, oh yeah, like historic like recreation,
Reenactment
club. There, that's it.
That's the
Basically,
word.
yeah. Basically, just we learn how to fight with swords,
Fair dues.
Sweet.
but I haven't still gotten there because I have been thinking maybe getting myself a set of kukris.
Of well, like Raphael from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Possibly.
Well, those are size. Kukris are hunting knives.
Oh, right.
No,
The,
they're
the,
yeah,
the
but-
sniper's knife is a kukri. From TF2.
But yeah,
remember
those
those,
bad boys.
Do you remember those Resident Evil? Its extinction. The Alice has those weapons, those melee weapons.
Oh, you mean like the combat knives?
Yeah, those are kukris officially.
Could be, yeah, it could be a modern interpretation of it. These things tend to change from year to year.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks all Japanese swords are katanas, but they haven't been katanas since. Well, they were katanas since the 1600s, I think. So anything from the 1500s and earlier, they're more like your traditional gladius and short sword. You know, like what you think of a European sword shape.
Yes.
Ah, yeah.
Which is funny, because everyone goes, oh, you mean a yeah, you know, you say Japanese sword. Oh, you mean a katana? No. It's not
I
always
also
a katana.
I also know that there are tantos and wakishashis in
Mhm.
Japanese swords, which look cool as hell.
Yep. It's just like saying it's a long sword, short sword, bastard sword, great sword. It's just naming.
And then if you play Dark Souls, washing pole.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
Which is basically Sephiroth extreme length.
I remember someone actually making Sephiroth's sword and being like, this is not wieldable in the slightest.
I'm just thinking if like Sephiroth had his own brands of swords. You say, now do you want a Sephiroth or a Sephiroth extra length?
Ooh.
Oh, what was the name? That was it. It was Man at Arms that made them.
Yeah.
Not the Reforged, like the original guy that did it.
Oh.
He made Sephiroth's massive katana. It was like, you can't really swing this in any real sense. It's just a long stabbing stick.
I saw that someone made
And then they made Cloud's Buster Sword. It's like, yeah, if you made it out of steel, you couldn't lift it. So it's made out of aircraft grade aluminium, and it still takes two people, but it's at least liftable and swingable. And you're not going to kill him with the edge, you're just going to kill him because it's a lot of mass.
I know recently they did, someone recently just did Red Queen from DMC4.
Fine looking sword.
Very nice. Well, yeah, the throttle sword. Because how do you make a sword more devastating? Put a bike throttle on it.
Yeah.
Rev it up.
Why not? It worked for the combat.
True. And then DMC5 they thought, oh, well, Nero can rev things up, but Dante can't, so we just give Dante a weaponized bike.
Why not?
Which is hype.
I'm still like apprehensive on DMC5. Only because when 4 came out, I'd only just finished 3. It's like, okay, the combat in 3 was solid. You pick a style, that's it. You just play through with that. If you want to change it, find a save point and change it. 4 came out, and hey, you're now playing as Nero, who has this really grabby, come-to-me style. Okay, so what about Dante? Oh yeah, you can change on the fly. Excuse me, what?
Yep.
I'm
now
not...
you got crazy combos.
I don't care. I didn't want the change style button. I wanted it to be like an alt or a quick switch. I only wanted 2 weapons. Don't want to keep cycling.
And then the special edition, we brought back Virgil because that's fun.
And convoluted.
Yeah, because screw canon, we want Virgil.
For all its faults, DMC, the reboot, did a wonderful job with Virgil.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Like, I think with DMC, what I think it is, great gameplay, good direction, flawed presentation.
Yeah. Yeah, this, like, the Virgil DLC was a good DLC. Here's a character that was central to the plot. Now you understand his motivation.
Very good.
It was very good. It was a delicious game.
Yes.
And speaking of delicious games, shall we play some D&D? Since we've been jabbering on for like half an hour on absolute nonsense.
Yay! Yeah, I mean, it is a regular occurrence, mind you, but...
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but-
it's also fun.
But we got things to do, people to kill, stories to destroy.
Yes. Indeed.
Alright.
So, a quick announcement before we go too far. Before I forget, I'm going to say this now. Over on my Twitter page, which there are links for somewhere, and if not, yeah, just look for Tales Again Addiction on Twitter. I have a plan for the new year, but I'm currently torn, so I'm letting the people decide. Which is a terrible thing, but it's working so far.
Now and I would totally go there now and vote for anything that is not too Death Stranding.
Yeah.
Well, it's a case of I'd like to do a thing on Thursdays, but I'm torn of shall I do another D&D 5e game, or do I pick up Starfinder again? Because I actually quite like Starfinder. It was kind of nice. Pathfinder in space.
Cool.
And I've actually played through a bit of Starfinder now with some other people, so I understand the mechanics a bit better. And it's a little clunky, but it's good.
Yeah.
So anyway, polls on Twitter. It's the pinned tweet. Vote away, and that's what's going to happen in the new year. So then we'll have a regular Monday and a Thursday stream.
Yay!
But anyway, back to tonight's game of Tales of Fumbles and Fortunes, a show where we sit around and play D&D in a homebrew setting. With varying degrees of sanity. Last week, and the week prior, for Dom's sake, I think you were out for 2 weeks, weren't you?
Yes.
Cool.
Feels like fun.
That's fine, you're better now. And all
Somewhat.
rested up and ready to go on and hopefully not lose the other eye, he says, as he's looking for a bit of music.
Hey, being a blind bard actually sounds pretty cool, but don't get any ideas.
Yeah.
Too late.
Shit.
So, just to recap the past couple of weeks for you, Dom, the party had gone about doing various bits around town after you guys got back to Embermine. In that time, Dario, Dom's character, went back. Tom, sorry.
Tom's character.
Tom's character, my bad.
Tom, they rhyme.
Yeah. Went back to Captain Walker and handed him the allegiance that Ruthin was to the Embermine cause in the Civil War. And from there, Captain Walker handed him direct orders to go to your home village of Barrowham, investigate it. If you saw any high-ranking officials, like, take them out if you can. If not, just needs to know how big this elven contingent is. Agreeing to that, you guys set off. You came across a camp outside of Barrowham, which had a couple of guards and a scout near it. They took you guys a while, but you managed to take them down before they raised any sort of an alarm. And you managed to sneak your way back to the village and got quite close. You sent Batoir in as your sneaky scout. Managed to get in and figured out sort of where people were and what they were doing in town. He entered the town hall himself, got spotted as he got in and quickly hightailed it back without getting caught. And then, with his information, decided, yes, we're going to split into 2 teams, a distraction and a sneak team. Team Sneak consisted of Zyron, Dario, and Betoit. And they actually managed to very successfully sneak through town and sneak into the town hall. Meanwhile, Team Distraction, consisting of Nil and Marlon, actually did a pretty good job of being a distraction. Sitting out the front, they managed to gain some of the guards' attention outside, as well as a Captain Hojo Siyuki. I'm going to butcher that name in a second because I feeling I said it wrong. No, it was Siyuki. Who was really curious as to why these 2 individuals were in this camp and why they weren't picked up by the outer guard and everything else. And it was during their conversation that Nil got a bit antsy. Do correct me if I'm wrong here, Tashi, but Nil did get angry.
No, he did get angry. Not gonna lie, he did get angry.
And initiated a combat by literally blanketing an area in darkness.
Oh, damn.
And during the course of the combat, the guards spread out. No one could really get together. You guys just saw the darkness from inside the building. And it was a case of, oh, something's gone down, so Batoir ran to one window, Dario ran to another window. You rushed straight on into the darkness, hoping to see what's going on, finding not a lot to happen, until eventually you stepped outside, found a couple of the guards, and then Hojo also bursted out from the darkness, wrecked you, and I do mean wrecked. How much damage did he do? I'm just trying to find it. He did a lot of damage.
Now let's put it this way, loading up my character sheet and seeing 14 HP does not make me happy.
You also were actually knocked out at one point.
You work out, I was trying to find like the damage that was done. And I can't find it now.
I think it was like 36 or something like that.
Yeah. But you lost an eye in the process, you lost your right eye. Which is rather fitting considering your deity you worship as a cleric.
Yep.
But regardless, the fight carried on for a little bit after that. You brought to consciousness and you managed to deal with Captain Hojo. Nil, however, is not satisfied with this victory.
Oh god.
No.
And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Hitachi, but when we left off, you guys were like going through and looting everything up, and Nil was just hightailing it to the beach.
Yep, and shooting them elves down. They are not going back to the Elven Kingdom and bringing reinforcements.
And if I remember correctly, I went with him.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is correct.
So yeah, DM's awesome recap, so awesome. So Betoir and Nil, you guys dash off, chasing down the last couple of stragglers. For convenience sake, you do manage to catch up and butcher them.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, with everyone else back at town, what would you like to do?
When did we get back to town?
Now, it's you guys like in the village. Like the fight ended, and all I remember was Nil and Betoir said they were going off, and everybody else hadn't said what they were doing. So I assumed you guys were staying behind.
I thought they were just going in the house. I thought we were all just going into the house.
Mm-mm. Nil and Betoir were on a rampage.
Oh yes.
Yes, indeedy.
No clue.
Yes. Everyone's just sort of standing there dumbfounded like, wow, look at all these dead guards.
Yeah. I think we've used up all our energy, haven't we, with our talk beforehand?
Probably, yeah. In that case then, whilst everyone in the village figures out a plan, Nil and Betoir, we'll hop back over to you guys.
Hi.
You
Hi.
catch up with the stragglers and you manage to kill them.
And I also sent you a message. Directly.
Oh wow, that's weird. Yes, I've just noticed that myself.
Yes.
I think this is putting off the old character sheet. That should be the right spelling. It is.
Sweet.
Save changes. There we go. Can I have perception checks from you guys?
Sure.
Does this rely on sight?
Of course it relies on sight.
Okay.
Something that I would love to have a full control of.
Yes.
Does this mean I roll at a disadvantage now because of my one eye?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I didn't realise you went with them, Siren. I thought you were still in town. In the village, rather.
That is
Oh,
a good
wow.
point. I will not roll this.
Okay.
That was a garbage roll.
That was pretty
I
garbage.
just see a big 3.
Yeah, I only saw Betoirs as well. Anyway, as you guys come, going over the hills and that to parts of the farmland which have now long since been left since the harvest, so there's no fresh growth or anything like that. You could just make out the horizon and, you can see the sea, you can see the coastline, and you can make out what you think might be sails on the horizon, but it's hard to tell if they're coming in, going, or just sailing past.
Interesting.
I was gonna say, how close would you say that boat is?
Miles.
Okay. Fair enough. Alright. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Oh boy. I think while Nil and Betoir are alone, do I feel as though this is the appropriate time? I'm just thinking. Betoir,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
this may sound like a strange thing for me to say, and I know that we haven't always been close, but
Mm-hmm.
I need to ask you for a favor.
Okay. What's the favor?
Well, promise me you won't let any of the others know. This has to
Okay.
be strictly between you and me.
Okay.
Dario has a knife,
Okay.
which looks like this, and Neil will cast a minor illusion to show what this actual dagger looks like, the one that the general gave to him.
Okay.
Yep, it's just a small, short little katana blade.
All right.
I know you're probably the most dexterous member of our party.
Yes. Probably.
I need you to steal that knife for me.
Sure. I can. Of course, I can do that.
I need you to take it and bring it back to me,
Okay.
and make sure none of the others know.
Okay. You can count on me.
I'm surprised you haven't even asked why I'm asking you of this.
You have your own reasons, and you are going to tell them to me if you want. But if you don't want to tell me, fine. It's completely fine. I'll just do this.
It's for the good of the party. That's all I'm
Okay.
gonna say.
Now you're getting me a bit worried.
Off in the far distance, you hear several people go, "For the greater good."
The greater good.
Can you resist?
You don't need to concern yourself too much with that. I just need that knife. No, I just need you to bring that knife to me.
Okay. That shall be done.
I need to be alone for a bit.
Okay.
And I'll keep an eye out for any other movements if there is any.
Okay. Just take care of yourself.
Yeah, I will. And I'm gonna roll some hit dice and get all my spell slots back while I'm at it.
Wow.
So you're going to take a short or a long rest by your lonesome?
I'm probably gonna say short rest in case we need to do anything else because I need to get some hit points back.
Oh, a short rest
Yeah.
will give you a hit dice back. I don't believe a short rest will give you the spell slots back as a warlock.
No, it does give you spell slots back as a warlock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because my brain's like, hang on, because I remember some classes don't. Like, I don't think clerics get a lot of theirs back on a short rest.
No. Clerics don't. In fact, all other like classes don't get their spell slots back apart from warlock.
There we go then. It's good to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And ingrain it into my memory.
Yes.
And forgot.
Yep, and gone. It's in my memory and it's gone.
Okay. Yeah. So I need to roll some hit dice.
Indeed. So go ahead and roll your hit dice. Meanwhile, back in the village with Marlon, Dario, and Zyron. Neil Betoit scurried off after what was left. You have several dead bodies that are ripe for the looting. Zyron, your right eye stings.
Fuck.
Wait.
Okay, would never make fun of Neil ever again. Damn it!
To which Dario points out that it's a good look for you. It gives you the more rugged hero look.
Well, yes. Right. Let's. Okay. Okay. I think the first thing I need to do is to somehow stop this sting ding in my eye if I can. If I was to like do a healing word on myself, would that'd probably like stop bleeding, but wouldn't like stop the stinging, would it?
It would stop the pain and everything, yeah.
Well, I'm happy with that. Let's do a healing word, and I'm just like, holy fuck, it really hurts. Make my eye feel somewhat better. Wow. And I get 10 hit points.
Nice.
That's better than no hit points. Okay, plus 10 for that bad boy. Lovely, thank you. Right. With that problem averted, loot time.
Okay. Going over the loot. Takes you a little bit of time, yeah, because you've got to go over the bodies, make sure they've got what they get together. You find, in total, 6 longswords.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm getting the loot bag out.
I will type this into the actual chat so I remember as well.
Yeah, I didn't have time to update the my little treasure sheet, which I was going to hand out. So yeah, 6 long swords, 2 short swords, a +1 rapier.
Oh,
Oh.
that sounds like my kind of weapon.
Right. How many
Definitely.
short swords? 2.
Yep, thus
Yeah.
the +1 rapier,
Mm-hmm.
and 22 gold.
Ooh.
Other things of note, and I forgot to say it earlier, from Team Stealth, when they went inside the mansion to grab things, you have one map, which is in need of going over, and 2 letters, which also need to go over.
Okay. 2 letters.
I didn't write down who had what. I just wrote down really quick, like 1 person was going for maps, 2 people were going for the correspondence. But now there's no immediate threat of danger. When you go back inside the house, you can loot the other tables which are in there, which will give you all 3 maps and all 3 letters.
Dario went for the maps, and me and was it Siren? We went for the correspondence.
So overall, there would be 3 maps, 3 letters.
Yep.
Okay.
Three maps, 3 letters.
Yeah, and just so you guys are aware regarding the letters, in case you ever ask me what's in them, they are written in Elvish, so only Zyron can read them. But what's more annoying is that as Zyron looks at it, it's written in code.
Ooh.
So
Not a thieves can't, it's like, this is Enigma level coding.
Oh, and it was actually that was actually broken quite quickly by the opposing army.
But again, it's not like your thieves can't can translate it.
Yeah.
This is a brain thinking problem.
Oh
yeah. I mean, I have a brain. And Elvish speaking.
So, just a reminder.
Sweet.
But that's pretty much what you find on the bodies and what's left in town. They've loaded everything else up and taken it elsewhere, but you don't know where.
Unless we read the maps!
Yes.
Okay, so for the sake of ease, I'm going to throw us all over to the world map. So, the maps that they have, and I'll bring the viewers on this as well. So, you guys are currently here in Barrowhome, which is marked on their map as well.
Yes.
And they've marked, it's pretty much like this and then the Titan or region based maps in amongst the pile. And one of the maps dictates like their battle plans for the upcoming spring into summer. So they plan to literally stop Embermine from ever interfering, and they'll just keep pushing south, take roads, and then try and push all the way Verdun and try and hold Stirling off. So Valencia has a huge chunk of the eastern coastline to itself. They highlight a tower on the south coast as a potential target. And it's got a message written in Elvish, which isn't coded, but it's just translated as a ancient settlement, might be worth something. FYI, if you guys want to update the map, you can do. Just don't remove any of the red stuff. The red stuff is there for a reason.
Okay.
And the other 2 maps are pretty much like Valencia and the region you guys are in, so the chunk of land that would be Valencia's control, with broken down troop movements and everything else.
Ah, cool.
So what's currently holding back Embermine and the Ruthin army would be only about 80 strong at best with a couple of field guns.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, it's enough to hold the bridge, which is all Valencia really wants.
There she did.
But the more important thing that comes to mind while going over this map is that Valencia itself has no real military threat at all.
Okay.
As far as the maps tell you, and as far as you guys can work out, Valencia itself only has about 50 guards in the city, and that's it.
Bloody hell. This changes a few things. Right, so... Okay, so... Main just being... Got about 80 odd strong between... Roofing... Was that between Roofing and Embermine?
It's at the bridge.
Of a bridge, okay. So that's 80 of a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
You've got about 50 in the actual city itself.
There you go. I'll update it in green to keep with that. So that's...
Oh, okay. I was going to do that, but okay.
Lovely.
Do it.
No. And then the other map said something about mysterious watchtower in the south.
I've already covered that.
Ah, lovely. Right. It's found.
No, look, Roll20, when I say I want this at a certain size, I do mean at a certain size.
If you click on the, sort of mouse, cursor thing, with the options on the left-hand side, and then double-click on the writing, then you can actually change the size and the font and everything about the writing.
Yeah, it's just it's really inconsistent of what size it really wants to be.
Yeah.
32 on the screen now, it's actually smaller. Those watching the stream, we're like, wow, that's actually quite big. It's quite legible.
So am I right in saying that the majority of the army or the military presence is still down here?
Mm-hmm. It's actually moved down. It's gone over the bridge now, and it's actually more towards hillside and pushing onto roads.
Right. So they're pretty much doing a southern campaign at the moment while holding the north.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If that's the case...
To remind you guys, the whole point of Ruthin and why the elves went to Ruthin in the first place was to get them on side so Embermine would not get involved. Because if it gets involved, Ruthin gets involved, and if Ruthin came across, then Embermine's got no chance.
I was going to say, because they're just sandwiched in between two cities with enough power to overwhelm it anyway.
Also, it's a little bit weakened, considering some of its engineers have gone, and you guys killed quite a large portion of everybody. With a baby.
True. The baby. Okay, I think it's now just weighing up plan of action, because we're on borrowed time as it is. Because the longer we wait, either... Well, See, it's a bit tough, with the fact that we have the 80 strong of the bridge, 50 strong in the city, and then an army on the bridge between Ruthin and Embermine. The trick is, if we're willing, we could do what we did with Embermine and try and take back Valencia while there's not a big force there. And then use what we have at Valencia to team together with Embermine to try and strike back at the forces on both bridges to then guarantee that the North's protected. But of course, this is all bearing in mind that whilst we do that, Hillside's pretty much occupied. And if Rhodes would be the next on their list, they'll occupy the south before we even have the north in order. Oy. This is why I never went to military college.
And
I went to Bard College.
That's exactly why we need Dario.
Yep.
Well, just to fill in for Dario for the time being, I hope he doesn't mind. He looks over the map with you guys and says, well, our mission here was come here, gather intel. We've got the intel. If we can translate the letters, we'll have more intel. They might actually tell us what the grand scheme is. Like what the supply chain is and key targets and everything else. Which Betoir can help us in doing, taking out those. And then maybe just ending this before summer kicks round.
Yes.
Okay, so... Right, so you said... Were all the letters in Elvish, or only some of them? Okay.
All three in Elvish, but they're encoded and Betoir... For Betoir's sake, it's not a Thieves' Con encryption, it's something new.
Okay, so I think in this case we need all the mines. We need to get a desk, all the mines, all the letters, just lay them out, translate them, and once they're translated, then work out what the heck they can possibly mean. Even if we can get a basic idea as to what they mean, we can at least plan what is what is basically going to happen.
That is very true.
It's a better idea than just going, let's go this way.
Well, to translate the letters is going to take you guys the best part of a short, leaving on a long rest. It's like between 1 to 6 hours-ish. Depending on how checks go, and it's going to be intelligence checks with modifiers and everything else that I will not disclose.
Just yet.
Haha, indeed. But whilst you guys are going over this, back over to Nil,
Oh, hi.
who's currently sat by his lonesome, taking a breather,
Yes.
and then the rage subside. Go ahead and give me a perception check again, please, with disadvantage, because you're one-eyed.
Yes, of course. If that's the same thing.
Wow.
Wow.
From your position, you can't really tell what's going on visually. Although audibly, there is a difference.
Ooh.
You hear the thunderous sound of footsteps coming sort of to your north.
Okay.
And as you look around to see what it is the Orc Warband from when you guys started your adventures all that long time ago.
Oh shit.
No crap.
No,
But
it's gonna stand. Yeah.
Not
sorry.
not in a large number. This is like quite small. This is seems more like a smash and grab group.
Okay. Yeah, Neil's just gonna stand sort of defensively and just sort of see. Like, do they see me?
Oh yeah, there is like very few places for you to hide.
Okay. Yeah, Neil's just gonna stand there, like, sort of a little defensive and just sort of see what they want.
Yeah, they gallop up to you and stop just short of you. The lead one hops off, stomps over to you, looks you up and down, going, "I remember you."
Likewise. Likewise. Yeah.
Looks around, like trying to see if we can see anyone else. Why are you here alone? Have you thrown away what makes you weak?
I'm just acting as a lookout, making sure that no one else puts any of my friends in danger.
A one-eyed lookout is worthless.
Well, one eye's better than having no eyes, that's for sure.
You have a point. We're on the lookout for elvish scum. Have you seen any?
Well, I like to gesture to them, to the dead elves on the beach. Like, I'd be like, well, there's some on the beach, but yeah, there's not going to be much of a battle since they've already been taken care of.
FYI, the ones you caught up with weren't at the beach. You caught them up like on the way to the beach.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, but there's still dead elves on the beach.
Okay, and as you said, they just are going, we know, we killed them.
You... Okay.
And it gestures to the horizon. Their ships fled less than a day ago.
So why are you after the elves? If you don't
This
mind
land
me
is
asking.
ours, not theirs. If they wish to take it, they have to fight for it. Not pay for it. Coin should be used for the ferryman.
It seems that we seem to be having the same problem. These elves are getting involved in business that they don't need to get involved with. Business that they should be kept out of.
Now, if they came here for a fight, we gave them one, but they weren't prepared.
No, they certainly weren't.
Still.
So
And he goes back over to his warband and mounts up.
So, where will you be going?
Gestures sort of further down the coastline. That way. We'll kill more. Come back. Kill some more. We'll just keep killing.
Just... No, actually, it's just not gonna say anything else.
So,
Yeah. Very quiet.
hey, well, it just sort of looks at you up and down and it just says, the Gramash be with you. Smacks his mount and the whole band rides off.
Yeah. Oh, man. Nell's just going to, like, go back to the village and meet up with the others and let them know what was actually in the distance.
Okay, dokes. Back in the village with everyone else. To translate the things, like I said, it's going to take you the best part, well, somewhere between 1 to 6 hours. Whoever wishes to take charge, I would need some intelligence checks.
I need to see how much is
Oh,
my
well, let's
intelligence.
This all depends on them being translated first, right?
Well, I would put it at disadvantage, but you're here to at least translate the Elvish, so
Right.
I could take a
it
try.
is a group skill challenge.
Okay. Well, I only have +1 in the intellect, so I'm more chatty, not thinky winky.
I have +3, so I could take a chance.
So it helps Marlon, Betois, and Zyron. You can use your skills to like aid your translation, but you got to give like a justification for the skill.
Okay.
Right.
So obviously, like acrobatics and athletics isn't going to help, but having history, on the other hand, that might be worth something because you can justify. Well, what if you use a historical name from Elvish culture,
Yeah.
Right.
and that could be the key to the cipher. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, if that's the logic, would it be worth using survival as if to see if there are anything, if there's anything brought up in like the code of these letters that suggests like camping locations or locations of like hunting grounds for additional meat sources, etc.
You certainly can. Go ahead and give me a survival check.
Let's give that a try. Hup! Fine.
Sadly, no. You can't find anything going over it really quick.
Curses.
So if anybody wants to have a crack at the translation, just a straight intelligence check to get started.
I'll go.
Okay.
I swear to God, if I rolled one.
It would have been the best translation ever. You managed to get past the way through like the first one. You managed to just do it by trial and error of, okay, what if we change this symbol for that one? Oh, hey, now the sentence actually reads something in Elvish.
Yeah.
Doesn't read really weird now. So now everything starts to fall into place, and you get like the general gist of the first paragraph or so is like an introduction from the captain you just killed to the current rulers of Valencia to be like, hey, this is an opening negotiation for us. So that is
Alright.
one success and no failures. If anybody wants to carry on the assistance, they can do.
I don't really understand what's going on at all, so.
Right, you've got some Elvish letters that are in need of translation. So, like you got to try and work out and break the code using skills available to your character. So you can use intelligence checks. You could roll a history check to work out what a key to the cipher might be, etc., etc.
Okay, I've just had an idea. Would it be possible to roll deception to see if any of these letters are like, because we have some basic idea of what's happening, using deception to see if any of these letters are actually trying to veer you off the beaten path, as if like one of these letters are fake in case of stealing.
I'll let you go ahead and do that, Siren, because you're the only one that can read Elvish.
Let's give this a shot.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Going through the next bit that isn't translated yet, you find like some deliberate double negatives.
Ah.
A double speak with that kind of like, okay, let's see if it... Oh, this entire section is lying to us, so when translating, be careful. So whoever's making the next intelligence check to decipher it, you get a +2 on your roll.
I could try it. Again.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, I'll just roll clean and +2 to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, damn. So, 13.
13 isn't enough. You manage to get part of the way through, and then like after several hours of going over it and back and forth, you're not getting anywhere fast.
Yeah.
Damn.
Would it be at this point that Nil returns, sort of thing?
Yeah, it's about now you walk back into the village and everything's gone quiet and everyone's now back inside the village hall and they're going over the letters they've got and they've got some spare parchment now and they're trying to crack the code.
Hi, Tom. There we go. And I believe. No.
I rolled the wrong thing.
No, keep the 25.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
Yeah, probably so it's a saving throw. So Marlon gets like huge advantages on that. Sadly, Marlon, with your intelligence, it's an effort to translate, and you're not making any much more progress than Betoit was earlier. But with the history check, you pull out several historical names in the text, namely a couple of elvish family names that jump right out of you. One of them being Katone, Sakura, and Imagawa. Yeah, callbacks to the first campaign and the Bard.
Yeah.
Doesn't that mean merchants then?
Mm-hmm. So whoever wants to choose to make the next intelligence check to decipher it, you now get a +2 on the check.
I could try it with history check. Although it actually doesn't need another history check, does it?
Nope.
Okay, so I'm just going with. And that's 16 plus 2, so 18.
And with that, you managed to translate a bit more of the letter going through.
Sweet.
You managed to work out that the plan that the elves had now was approach Valencia, work out a trade agreement, at which point Valencia admits that, well, from the conversation of the letter, Valencia had admitted that it plans to go to war and push southwards. The elves had interests in the south. They would help out only on the condition that they got a foothold in this region of the world. So they'd give them a territory, which in this case seems to be Barrowham.
Alright.
And then a joint expedition to this forgotten city would be the next point of agenda. And that's pretty much the first letter fully translated.
Sweet.
Well, nice.
Very nice.
But that takes you the better part of 5 hours to go through the whole thing. Took a long time to translate it.
What time of day is it now?
Oh,
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
About now, it's crawled around to about late afternoon, pretty much the evening.
Okay.
So if you guys want, you can carry on, although it now runs the risk of you guys having exhaustion, because you're not going to get a full long rest in.
I could actually take the long rest. If that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, as much as I'm translating this, I wouldn't mind to take 5.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind trying to take over, although my intelligence isn't exactly great, so. But it's up to you guys.
I mean, I don't mind either way.
Oh, I thought I had an interesting idea, but no, not gonna work.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind translating. Unless we all take a rest and then we just take it back to Ember Mine.
Yeah, so you guys want to go with that?
Yeah, might as well all be on a. Oh,
Might as
Yeah.
well be all good. I mean, we got to cross a bridge of 80 strong people.
Yeah, I also want to tell them about the orc nomad type people who came along and pretty much said that the elven ships left about a day or so ago. And that they were killing some elves themselves. Seems that they were like, oi, get off our turf. Slicey dicey. Dead elves are on the beach. Sort of thing. Yeah.
I think everyone just wants to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Not a good time to tell us.
Oh, fine then.
Okay, then. You guys get your long rest in, so you get your spells and your abilities back. You wake up the following morning to the sounds of small birds tweeting in the trees and the sudden realization of what happened yesterday.
That there are
One.
still dead elves.
Yeah, won a hard-fought battle, and certain people are now scarred for life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Tom, just to fill you in, because you came in late. If you can hear me.
Yeah, I'm here. Zoning out.
Cool. Just to fill you in on what's happened from last week. Not a lot. You guys have just gone over like the maps and the stuff you recovered, whilst Neil ran off with Bitois to cut down the last of them. The maps detailed a couple of interesting factoids. One, Valencia hasn't got a huge military strength left. It's only got 80 strong at the bridge. Only, I believe I said 50 strong in Valencia itself. The majority of the army is all the way down south. Miles away. And you just spent a fair bit of time translating the three letters and only getting as far as the first one, which detailed like the agreement Valencia had with the elven company that was here. So they get a foothold on this part of the world. Barrowham's payment for it, and the 11th Royal Guard are going to help out Valencia in any way they can.
Kidak.
So, with that said and done, morning comes, you guys do your preparations for the day. Where do you wish to go now?
So we took a long rest,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yep, so
Yeah.
all spells and abilities are back online.
Sweet.
Alright then. I mean, unless there's anything anyone else wants to do in Barrowham, we may as well get back to Embermine.
Yeah. Not a lot left to do here.
Yeah, because this isn't. I think my target isn't in Barrowham, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, your assassination target was meant to be in Barrowham but hasn't turned up.
Ah,
So it looks like the Hatter's intel was a bit shaky.
yeah, I need to get back and get more intel.
Okay. So you guys already know a way back through the woods and over the river. That's not a problem. As you sneak your way back across, you do hear the faint sound of the artillery fire at the bridge still going on. If you guys want, you can swing by and inspect it, or you can go straight onto town.
I could
am
almost go to check it, see if the guy is there. But very sneakily.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the gunfire because that's been going on since, like, we first approached Baraham. No, after we, no, since we first approached Baraham, yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, if everyone else is okay with swinging by real quick.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Bless you.
Thank you.
I could be maybe the scout ahead.
I didn't realise I was clipping out. Am I clipping out for anyone else?
No?
Nope.
No?
Okay then. So I just saw Tom's message. Is like, oh god, don't have been clipping out the recording this whole time.
It's just like it's been happening for a number of weeks, and sometimes it's so loud I can't actually. So I've had to like turn down the output because it was just too loud for you. It actually kept popping my speakers slightly at times.
Wow. Okay.
I think moderate level for me, but live is just super quiet. So just I thought as an FYI, it's the best I can do at the moment.
Okay. Anyway. So you guys are swinging by the battlefield, yes?
Yes.
Okay. As you guys approach, the faint smell of burnt gunpowder hangs in the air, along with the smell of death and decay.
Hmm.
And this wasn't a battle or a skirmish. This was a massacre.
Do I need to roll stealth if I want to go near them without them noticing?
Well, I'm assuming you guys are north of the bridge. That's what I assumed you guys were, so you crossed the river and made your way down towards the bridge that way. If you're south of the bridge, you'll definitely need to make stealth checks. If you're north of the bridge, you're fine.
Ah. Okay.
So,
Let's just say north.
We'll say no.
And actually, in my chat, one of my viewers actually said you would need a necromancer in the group.
yeah, for this bit, definitely. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, this wasn't a battle, this was a massacre. You could see parts of people are strewn about the place where they were caught in the middle of shells and pretty much obliterated. The ground surrounding the bridge is an absolute quagmire. It's about a good 3 foot deep in places, and certain craters you can quite happily take full cover in from all ranged fire.
So it's basically like Normandy after D-Day.
Yeah. I was going to say more like the trenches in World War One after a decent artillery barrage.
I mean, what?
I actually forgot what Bitoire's thing was.
Betoir is surrounded by a massacre.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no and there's no gold coin in his hand.
Yeah,
And
so
his hands are covered in blood.
out of her body, friends around, and her fingers to hold the coin. It only depends if he considers the general soldiers his friends.
Yeah, well, my fortune kinda came through, but I was thinking more like I would have lost fingers.
Ah. But how many are Are there some civilians as well as soldiers, or are they mostly soldiers?
Everyone around is pretty much, from the parts you can see, and I do stress parts, you'd go for soldiers, not civilians.
Okay. Like elven soldiers, or just a mixture?
Mostly elven, strangely enough.
That's weird.
No, Tom will be the only one that gets this reference, but I just suddenly remembered on Bill the Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. The game is afoot. Basically, there's a scene in Bill where they're looking around for stuff. She stands in the background, picks up the decapitated foot, and just says the game's afoot.
Oh. I was thinking there's no way that's going to be the thing. It's going to be something way cheesier. And no, it was that cheesy.
It was that cheesy. And they also, the other funny bit of the beach scene as well. So before the scene beforehand, they actually played it out as if it was like a customs office with the Spanish arriving on the beach. And they're like, if we can just come and check your bags and passports, please, Whelan.
Dang.
You sorted out, and then the next scene is just like, yeah, the Spanish have decided to kill all the British on the beach and what have you. But yeah, sorry, it just reminded me. I just suddenly remembered that. That is a kids' film.
Oh, that's random.
A family picture.
It is, and it's brilliant, and it's on at Christmas, so watch it.
Oh, jeez.
I was going to say, like, a kid's film which is really dark is The Black Cauldron by Disney.
Oh yeah.
Watership Down, yo.
Oh god, yeah, that's...
They're remaking that at Christmas. It's a new 3D version.
Oh, damn.
Oh, dang.
Rabbits, like,
Bye.
no, why are you doing this, BBC?
My niece is about the right age as her mum was when she first watched Watership Down. This could be perfect. To be fair, she is terrified of dogs, so we need to break her fear somehow, so making her terrified of dead rabbits might do it.
Maybe.
But that's just implanting another fear in her. That's not going to work.
She's 2.5, she'll forget her fear of dogs and be more afraid of the dead rabbits.
Jesus
Poor
Christ.
rabbit.
Morbid.
The killer rabbit clearly deserves it. He murdered George.
Damn.
Same like Animal Farm as well as a bit.
I was gonna say.
Anyway,
Anyways.
back to the game at hand. So, yeah, you guys are currently sitting in the middle of the battlefield with a lot of elven corpses strewn about the place, caught in the middle of artillery fire. To the south of you, over the rutted terrain, you can just make out the bridge. Very faintly. And, like, it's still got the fortifications up, although they look like they took a beating as well. You can't tell if the bridge is still standing. Looking northward, you can see the Amber Mine sort of initial force they sent are now well entrenched and haven't moved.
As in they're dead, or just...
You can see the guns, but you can't see any heads poking over the sort of trench they've dug themselves.
They are very much in defense position.
Mm-hmm. It's up to you guys if you want to go check them out.
Should we?
Well, I mean, I don't know a lot about military movements, But if they're hunkered down that badly, probably best not to aggravate.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
'Cause if they're that heavily entrenched, I bet you any money they've got orders to basically, if you see any foreign bodies, shoot on sight. And I don't like the sound of that, especially since I'm now one-eyed Jack.
Yeah, that is
I don't want to
true.
be. I don't want to be like nobody Johnny. No, that's not happy.
Yeah. Oh God. We should move to Amber Mine. Get this
Yep.
information to them. Yeah, Noel just looks at the absolute scene in disgust and just suggests that.
I get him. So you take your time, you go back to Amber Mine, you walk past the temporary fortifications on your way up the road. Passing them, there are no soldiers, they've not left their gear behind or anything like that. It would appear that they defended the ground. Some of them died, but a lot of them just took their stuff and went home. And as you approach Amber Mine and get back into town, what do you guys wish to do from here?
I could actually maybe go to find the shop where I currently got the assignment from.
Yeah.
And then there is the fact that I need to go to tell them that the intelligence was shaky, but say it in a way that they don't get aggravated, so I won't get hit put on me.
Okay. What about everybody else? Vasvetwala goes hat shopping.
Yes.
I'm on sweet making as always.
You wish to finish off the carousel sweet horse.
Horse.
I'll probably spend some time like tuning my lute and getting used to this gap in my eye.
This blind spot, quite literally in your vision.
Yeah, like swing my sword a few times, maybe like in the air, just to get an idea of right. So that's my blind spot. Try and work with it.
I would like to.
I also just saw something quite terrible with Marlon now.
Oh no.
Look at my horse. My horse is amazing. Give it a lick. Tastes like raspberries.
It tastes quite nice, but don't have too much.
Yeah.
I would like to. If anybody else doesn't have any objections, I would like to take some of the weapons that we have to possibly help upgrade my arm.
I don't see a problem with it.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah. And also see whether and also see whether I can get the power of the Staff of Withering embedded in it so I can touch people and make them feel weaker than these.
Nice.
God.
Yeah, and they would like the special touch.
Yes, and my mind instantly went to gutter.
Yeah, of course. Don't worry, I knew it was going to go down the gutter as soon as I said it.
But the gutter is
Yeah.
a soft, warm, comfortable place.
True. True.
It loves us as much as we love it.
Indeed.
Okay. So, So we'll start in order then. So we shall go with Betrois first. As you go through town, you visit the hat shop. You're greeted by the usual proprietor. Welcomes you back and wonders if you had a fun time over the past few days on your hunting trip.
There is one thing I want to bring up about said hunting trip. And, well, your intel was kind of off. He wasn't there where I went.
Interesting.
With all due respect.
Well, that is most concerning matter, sir. The intelligence that we had been supplied with and cross-checked ourselves said, and like as he's continuing this conversation, he's looking around the store to make sure it is just you and him, and carries on, make sure that it was correct and to the finest detail, as people of our establishment should be concerned with, is the fine details. To which we do apologise, but of course we still cannot grant you the cufflinks as you request them. This target does need to be inhumed rather quickly.
Okay.
We will go through our intelligence again and we will send a letter out to you soon.
Okay. That is fine. I will be waiting to hear from you.
Until we meet again, Sony, pretends to doff a cap to you.
Yes.
Cool. So that is Betrois sorted. Nil, I believe you're next up on my list.
Can do. Why not?
So, Nil.
Hi.
Sweet, innocent Nil. You take the weapons and supplies, the swords and what have you.
Yes.
Go and see Orsig and several other blacksmiths that have joined together in the third area of the city, like all the foundries and the factories and that were.
Oh yes.
And they seem to be working on a new type of field gun, and it's massive.
Okay then.
As you come in through the gates for the Iridium Blade Company, like the outer area is just the cannon barrel, not so much like the firing mechanism. They are literally making a big Bertha artillery.
Okay.
To which also comes along wearing his apron, his face is blackened with soot, and... Oh, lad, what brings you all the way to me?
I present Orsic with the weapons and I go, Orsic, I need you to help me make my arm stronger. I need this arm to be the strongest that it can be.
You are aware, lad, that I'm not much of an enchanter.
I was thinking more of the lines of maybe you can use your weaponsmithing skills to possibly put them on or in the arm.
He starts looking at everything. I'm like, you are aware, lad, that this is beyond me.
I think you've got the wrong end of the stick, Neil.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate the metal and everything, although Elvish craftsmanship is rubbish. I could
Alright.
smith better with my eyes closed. But the best I could do is like make a cover for it and make it look rather decorative.
Maybe give it a nice pointy sword end.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
Maybe
Wolverine,
a way of removing your hand and then just putting on a pointed stick.
well, I mean,
Or a holder for you to put the most violent of weapons, the banana.
Well, in that case, then, well,
Good day
okay.
to you.
Thanks. Yeah, alright then. Then I suppose I'll find. Alright then. Sorry to have disturbed you, and yeah,
Soon.
and I'll just look for Dario. Like Dario, I'm so sorry.
That's fine.
I'm so sorry. Anyways, you can go to someone else before, like me again or whatever.
Yeah, well,
I'll just embarrass myself even more.
that's right. I just need to make my notes here.
This is because I managed to
You're
revive.
done.
This is because I managed to revive Zyron after outsmarting you with that misty escape.
Wasn't so much a misty escape, it was more the black sphere that kind of ruined the encounter. It caused the split when I didn't want to split.
Well, I figured
This is
we
payback.
No.
So, anyway,
Yeah.
DM not going to be bitter. Going over to Marlon.
Yeah.
So, you wish to gather up some more ingredients and supplies.
Yes.
What do you wish to do with your supplies? I don't want to assume, but I have a feeling this is going to be horse related.
I wasn't thinking that at all. I was just thinking of making general sweets, but it can be horse related.
I mean, you can't really have like the horse head. It'd be nice to have the rest of it.
Just thought it'd be fun to go around doing like the Godfather kind of thing and just
That's fine.
people's desks.
Well, that's fine then. So gathering supplies now in Emperor Mine is going to be nice and easy. So won't need to check for that. What kind of sweets were you planning to make? Were you planning to make the violent kind of sweet, or the nice kind of sweet?
Well, I've never actually used any of my violent sweets, so
It feels weird now. I feel like we could make a custom class right here on the stream. You know, the arcane confectionery wizard.
Yes.
actually, can I work on? Because what I really want, I don't know whether I'd be able to work on it at all. Is I really want some chocolate like golems kind of thing.
Ooh.
Now that you can do.
That I want to work towards, sort of.
That you can do, because if memory serves me quite well, because I've been trying to find a
You
way.
have golem pages, don't I?
You do indeed have pages from the Golem Manual. So, whilst you're in Embermine, just to see how far we can actually get with this, as you're going through your pages, you have the first few chapters which goes over the necessities of building a golem. So it's all going to be made out of the same material, so you can't do like half flesh, half stone. It's got to be all flesh, all stone, all one material. And it costs a lot of money.
Well then, you won't be doing that then.
Well,
And I attempt to make some more minions like Gingy, not necessarily Gingy, but a little bit bigger.
oh, that's the next bit I was going to say. Like, making a golem is a large thing, but shrinking it down would make it cheaper and durable, because the pages you have go, like, it stops at the once you build the legs, and then stops from there. So you can make them like small, and medium would be costly. So I'm just trying to think of a good way of doing this now, where it's going to be fair.
And while you're thinking that, I'm going to say that I need to go to the bathroom quick.
Okay then. So then, Marlon, go ahead and give me some Arcana checks. This seems fair.
Okay.
And also deduct... Actually, we'll do the checks first, and then we'll see about cost. I need to look something up. How rare is this, folks? I actually have to look something up in the monster manual.
Arcana checks, yeah.
Indeed.
You no speak no Arcana. How many do I need to do?
How many little gingy style dudes would you like to make?
I was going to try to make 2.
So, in that case, then could I please have 2 Arcana checks? And...
I was gonna say, like, if you said 20. Jeez. Like, 20 gingerbread men.
Sorry, just bear with me a sec. I'm trying to find the creature.
Not gingerbread men. I want them, like I've said from the beginning, my goal is to have 2 massive, like the Harry Potter, the giant wizard chest.
Oh.
Is to have 2 of them following me around.
Yeah, and those are basically stone golems.
Yeah.
Golem. We'll start golems also. Try and remember what the thing is, and Tash could probably help me out. You know the wind-up mechanical monsters?
Oh, are they like mono...
Thank you!
sort of stuff.
Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the name of them for love nor money.
Okay, no worries.
Alright.
Viva my photographic memory.
That's the fact you remembered what they were called. I can remember what they were. They were like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And they go up in that's how like they go up in scale.
Yeah.
You're by the way, Brian, you're clipping out for me now.
Haha, no, I've got to go over my own audio. Aww.
Like, you seem to be fine for me, so...
Okay then, I've got to sort out my audio another time then fix it.
Yeah, you're sounding fine to me as well.
Not a lot, but it is starting to clip now for me. So.
Okay, then I will keep an ear out on that and try and fix it when I have time. Monodromes, that's the name. Ha ha ha, there we go. So, go ahead and you lose in total around about 450 silver, which, if memory serves, is 45 gold.
Yes. Yeah, because it's 10 silver to gold piece.
Well, I've only got 10 gold on me.
Well, you can borrow some from, like, like, the loot bag or so.
Yes.
Yeah. How much gold is that? What did you say?
45, yeah.
Seems quite reasonable.
Oh, and you are kidding me. The Roll20 compendium doesn't have these monsters in.
Ah, damn.
So, over the next day or so, whilst everyone's sorting their other errands out, with the supplies that you buy, you manage to make 2 confectionery tri-drones. As like their monster template, if you will. So they are CR 1/2 medium constructs. I'll do up like a little card and put it into your journal once we've wrapped up the game and everything tonight, so don't let me forget.
Well, I have a name for them already.
Oh no.
What are they
Oh,
called?
damn.
30 and bots.
Oh, I love it.
Nice.
Okay, not what I was thinking. I was thinking something like Toblerone or something like that, but calling them Tribalones.
30 and bots.
Oh, Bertie Bot. Ah, nice.
Alas, it
Get
works.
it.
So yeah,
Okay.
you will have 2 of those, so make a note of that in your character sheet, and I'll give you the stat cards for them.
Yeah.
Once we're done. But that's their stat block I'm going to use. So they're certainly a lot better than Shinji.
Oh, but no one could be better than Gingy.
Yeah, because Gingy was like a little unseen servant.
Oh. Bless him. Bless his cotton sock.
Yeah. If you want to carry on your research, by the way, into going to bigger golems, if it's an option for you, you can go ahead and make an investigation check for me. So it's trying to find a page for golems now. Where's it gone? Lost it. Happy thumbing it.
Hold on.
Jason, what am I doing?
It's only if you wanted to carry on your golem research.
Want
Well,
me,
not at the minute, no.
Okay then.
want me to go and find the page for you?
No, it's alright, I found it.
Alright.
But that's
I just
fine.
cut my fingernail and it scared Daisy to death.
Poor
She's
Daisy.
like, what the hell was that?
Aim it at the wall, Mrs. Doyle, at the wall.
Yes.
Okay, just need to remember to add the sheets. And then lastly, so, did everyone else? Zyron,
Hello.
did you want to do anything in town, or are you just doing your sword stances and getting used to having only one eye?
Yeah, it's very much getting used to the one eye thing. Like, even whipping out the book that I've still got on me, which is So Your Father Failed at Tiddlywinks, just to get used to reading with one eye.
Yeah.
You want to go and get an eye patch?
I don't know, just having like a closed eyelid with a scar over it's good enough for me.
Yeah, and then I will ask Dario to help me upgrade my arm.
And that was the next part I was going to get to. But also for you, Zyron, what you realise is really having one eye doesn't affect reading or a lot of things visually. The one thing you do realise it plays about with is like how far that mug is on the table.
Hmm.
Your depth perception kind of goes.
Got ya.
So, meanwhile, back to Dario. If Tom's still there. Hi. So, you got a couple of things to do in town. Firstly is the stuff from Captain Walker. So as you head over to the military court, the military building, which is now basically the town hall's one wing converted. Captain Walker greets you and says, Daddy, old boy. Nice to see you again. How fares the intelligence gathering?
Oh.
Oh,
Hello.
You sleepy or struggling to hear?
good. Good. No.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
No.
Hello.
Can you hear us now?
Hey, I'm just tired, I said.
Okay, sorry, we didn't hear that bit.
Yeah. You keep on cutting out a bit as well, sweetie.
Right, I think my headphones are slowly dying again.
Yeah, that could be.
No, it's
I don't put it on my ear anymore because just it's flaking so badly. I end up with a nice black faux leather ear.
And I was to get Tom for Christmas then, a new set of headphones.
Oh.
I found one at PC World I was going to get, but it's just not high on my list at the moment.
That's true. So, anyway, to catch up with you, you report back into Captain Walker to greet you, salute you, and all the usual military jabs. It's like, Dario, good to see you again, old boy. Tell me, how goes the intelligence?
I believe pretty well. I can't remember myself.
From the, from the village and Barrowham and everything else, you managed to regain 3 letters and 3 maps. Because you guys took time to gather them up afterwards. So you present those and he's like, brilliant.
I thought we only picked up like 1 map and 2 letters because we had to rush in and out. And there's only 3 of us that were grabbing things. We all grabbed 1 thing each.
Yeah, but after that and when the combat died down a bit, you guys stayed behind whilst Nil and Betois rushed off. So whilst they were going away, you guys had time to go, okay, everyone's dead, we'll loot the corpses and loot the building. So you managed to get the rest.
I can't remember that.
And that was tonight before you rolled in.
Right, okay, that explains that then.
So yeah, he thanks you again for like all the intelligence. Like, this is amazing. Goes through the letters. You managed to translate the first one whilst you were resting up, so he's grateful for knowing how the elves and Valencia are involved one another, pretty much by a trade deal. Barrowham for assistance, and says he'll get people. He'll probably get Jeeves to do it because Jeeves is quite a smart bird to translate the other 2 letters. To which Jeeves comes in, going, translate letters.
Pretty well trained there, boss.
And you gotta keep them well trained, otherwise they soon forget. Gives you a hearty pat on the shoulder, and well, I think you and your adventurers deserved a good couple of days' rest. We had a skirmish at the bridge recently. Don't know if you witnessed it, but they tried to make a push for Ember Mine. We managed to hold the line, but we had to abandon the camp in the process.
Have we told obviously the strengths of these forces that we know of?
Yeah, it's all in the maps and everything, so he's now well aware of what's going on. So some of that intel now needs to change. So the 80 strong at the bridge is now somewhere more about 30 strong. but he's still really grateful, and he hands you a large sack of gold coins. He has just paid you 500 gold pieces for completing your mission of gathering the intelligence.
Just going to suggest about pincer movement on that bridge. It's only 30 strong holding it. You might as well just hit it with a full frontal attack and have 2 scout units on either side and try to cut them off and embed up.
As you say that, and he's got the map out in front of you, that 500 gold suddenly really goes into your pocket and taps on the shoulder, going, "I knew you would put yourself forward for such a dangerous mission, Daddy-O."
Okay.
Wait, what?
It's only such an ingenious plan that you could have come up with it, meh. So, I leave you a choice. You can either go with the frontal assault or the scout team on the flank.
I believe my skills are best at.
You cut out the important bit. The best where, Dario, best where?
Oh, sorry, did it cut out again? I think my skills are best suited to the rear.
So the flanking operation it is for you then, Daddy-O. Well, take some time, get a couple of days good rest on you. And then we shall see each other once we have taken the bridge.
One, you have the con.
And with that, we shall end tonight's game there. A little bit earlier than usual.
Okay.
But I think we're all a bit knackered with Christmas coming up and deadlines and everything else.
I was gonna say, if you wanted to work on the arm later on, then that's cool.
I actually think I could play something else because we ended up earlier. So yeah.
So thank you very much for watching, everybody. We shall call the game there for tonight. I'll probably play something on Thursday. I don't know what yet. Depends on times and stress and everything else. If not, we'll see you all next week for some Tales of Fumbles and Fortunes. So good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.
Night.